Hey everybody, and welcome to Bits of Board, where we're talking board games, miniatures, cards, and dice. My name is Michael, and today we're going to be checking out Pandemic: Reign of Cthulhu. Now, this is the next in the line of the Pandemic games. This time, instead of dealing with medical emergencies, we're dealing with hell from the great old ones, okay? We're going to be dealing with cultists and Shoggoth. We're basically going to be saving the world. So what sets this one apart from the standard Pandemic game? Let's have a look. Alrighty, so here is the new board. First thing you're going to notice is that it is no longer a world map. We are now in a much tighter area made up of some of the Lovecraftian universe's most famous locations. Now, I've got the board set up. First things first, you draw 7 Old One cards from a pool of 12, and each one of these is going to come up as bad things happen in the game. You draw a bunch of summoning cards from the summoning cards deck to populate a bunch of cultists onto the board, as well as 1 Shoggoth. Next up, you've got to decide on, who you want to play. You've got the Hunter to start off with, who's really good at getting rid of the cultists and the Shoggoth. We've got the Occultist, who can sort of control them a little bit and start moving the bad guys around the board. We've got the Detective, who's really good at sealing gates. We've got the Magician, who actually starts the game with a relic and can have 1 extra card in their hand. We've got the Doctor, who's got an extra action per turn. The Driver, who can move around a little bit easier. And finally, the Reporter, who's excellent at taking the bus. We all need our superpowers, right? And each one of these cards comes with its own miniature as well, which is very nice. So everyone starts up at the train station in Arkham, and they can take any of their 4 actions per turn. Now, actions can be moving around the board, space by space, using fast travel options like using the train station or the portals scattered around the board, passing clues or relics to other players, defeating cultists, so each 1 action you can remove 1 cultist from the board. Defeating the Shoggoth, now that involves moving into his location and spending 3 actions to get rid of him, or actually sealing a gate which is scattered across the board. Where's that one? And blue is over here. Now, when players are trying to get rid of the Shoggoth, they have to use the sanity dice, and this determines what bad things will happen. So if we hit one of these squiggly lines, or the double squiggly line here, we have to take 1 or 2 damage to our sanity, which are these tokens. Each player's got 4 tokens, and if they lose all 4, they become insane, and their characters become less good at what they do, but they still work. The other thing that can pop up on this is the cultist spawning face, which makes you spawn 2 cultists at your current location, which can suck. 2 of the spaces are blank though, so there is hope. Now, players start their turn with 4 cards in hand, and they need these to help close the portals. The idea is that once they have 5 of 1 color in their hand, they can head to the portal and use an action to close it. That's another instance where we have to roll the sanity dice. Now, at the beginning of each player's turn, they have to draw 2 cards. And, and each card goes into their hand to sort of help them close the portals on the board. Sometimes they draw the Evil Stirs card, which is really bad. Firstly, the player has to fight the madness, rolling the sanity dice. Then an awakening occurs, where a player must reveal the next in line of the old ones. Each one of these guys has a specific rule they add to the game. We'll go through these ones shortly. A Shoggoth then appears, which we draw 1 card from the bottom of the deck, placing the Shoggoth in a location. He's off to the cafe. Ooh, goody. And finally, the cultists regroup, which means all of the already played cards from the deck get shuffled in and placed back on top of the spawning deck, which means that more cultists are going to spawn at the locations already on the board. Now, if you draw a spawning card with a Shoggoth icon down the bottom, it means the Shoggoth are going to start moving to the nearest portal. So these guys are both going to move onto the church location here. If you draw a Shoggoth card and there's already a Shoggoth on a portal, they pass through the portal, but awaken the next old one in line. If at any stage we have all 7 of the old ones appear, we've lost the game. And to make matters worse, if we run out of cultists or Shoggoth to place, well, we've lost the game as well. The aim of the game is to close all 4 portals, saving the world from the old ones. Let's have a look at all the old ones that we can come across in the game. We've got Ithaca? Athlaknaka? Yes. Shudnel? Good old Yig? Azathoth? Nyarlathotep? Dagon? Sathagua? Haster? Yog-Sothoth? Shub-Nigroth? And good old Cthulhu, who if he comes up in your old one track, he loses you the game. What? What? Alright, so this is definitely a Pandemic game, and it is so cool. The tie-in between, saving the world and the Cthulhu mythos, it just works, and I couldn't have expected anything less from this. The quality of the miniatures and the game, the components themselves are top-notch. The colour scheme in the board, it's so dark, but all of the colours, they glow. Now, one of the main differences in this game is that in Pandemic, if you had to place more than a third cube on a location, it would outbreak, and it would place a cube at each connecting town or each connecting city. In this particular case, it doesn't happen. Now, does this mean that the evil doesn't spread across the game board? Not quite. Usually in Pandemic, if you were to cure a disease, it's gone, it's eradicated, it doesn't come back. But here, instead of wiping all of the cultists from an area, we only remove one from each, and they will come back. So you are going to be revisiting a lot of old areas just to maintain the population. It's not a matter of, whew, that's relief, I've gotten rid of an entire disease. No, it keeps coming back, and it really, really messes with you, which is fantastic. It's a wonderful part of this game. Now, does it replace Pandemic? No. It doesn't. Pandemic has grown into this humongous monster. With those expansions that it's got, it is phenomenal, and I don't think it's likely that we're going to ever stop playing that. But it certainly holds a place next to it on the shelf. Each game offers a different take on a very, very cool system, a very well implemented system. And given the chance, I believe that this series is going to grow to become a monster. I'm a huge fan of this take on it, and this being, the 100,000th Cthulhu game on the market. I know we've seen Cthulhu games before, but this is a perfect match. It offers us a wonderful, different take on the Pandemic gameplay, and it's definitely a welcome addition to the collection. So if you can get your hands on it, find it and play it. See for yourself. This is an awesome take. So that's about all I've got for you today. If you've got any questions, chuck them in the comments below and I'll get back to you. But till next time, my name's Michael. This is Bits of Board. Thanks for watching.